City North.
EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. It's second round coverage of the Mountain Shootout. Now down to the par 4 first hole, and Frank a chance to get out of the gates with a pretty good score on the card.
Certainly is, Rich. Fairly generous fairway. I think a lot of right-handers prefer a little dogleg left to start the day. That's exactly what you have in front of you.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. Just a case of a hole suiting the player's eye. Made the birdie yesterday, and he has a good chance to make another one today. Birdie try again here today.
Great start.
Already teed up here at the second. That will be a great look at birdie. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
That drops for another birdie. 2 in a row to start the round. Frank, plenty of scoring opportunities in the early portion of this golf course. We're now at a par 5, the third hole, and it's only 528 yards.
You can see why we're going to see a lot of people perhaps being 3 under through the first 3 holes, Rich. This par 5 bending to the right, very reachable. You just keep that tee shot nice and high off the tee. Let it carry as far as possible. Well, when he goes after it like he is here.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
Ooh, that is long.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. All right, Frank, what's the right play here on this second shot to the par 5 third?
Well, even though that hole is a dogleg to the right, the best way to bring it in actually is to use the general contours, which is right to left, and the shape of the shot in that direction as well. So it might look like a little cut, but it actually suits a little draw.
Regarded as a very accurate player, that shot says it all. Little redemption chance here, had bogey yesterday. No problems early, looks good.
It does look good. This bodes well. We might be in for a very, very low round today.
Now to another par 3. This is the fourth hole, 192 yards, way down the hill.
It's going to play closer to 170 yards, Rich. You're going to have to reduce that distance by at least a couple of clubs. And consequently, if you hit one hanging up in the air, if you get a breeze that goes through that valley, it's going to start to sort of move that ball around. So just keep your eyes open there where that breeze is coming from.
Leaves that one about 20 feet out from the cup. Nicely played shot. Settles in over the putt. That would have been a real bonus had it dropped, but as it is, good putt. Not a gimme, but well within his range.
Well, for such a strong man, weak putt.
Now I'll have to make this just to avoid making Michael Dublé. Not what he had in mind when he stepped to the tee, but it would be just one drop shot. This for bogey.
In this situation, Richard, bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
Well, again, Frank, we get that good mix of holes here. We've had a couple of par threes, a short par five, and that opening par four. Now at the fifth hole, 424-yard par four.
The first bunker on the right, not really in play for the good players. Just be a little cognizant of that one on the left side, depending on what club you want to hit off the tee. Ideally, that line is the third bunker, the one in the distance. It's a good line off the tee here.
Set now for the second shot, par four fifth.
Just be aware of where the flag is. If it's cut in that front section, you definitely want to carry the front of the green. Hole is a little more difficult when they start to push that flag in the back left. You can see it narrow up there.
This is a good-looking shot. Really in control of this hole. Birdie yesterday and another opportunity on the way. Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Well, that's how you keep a round going, make putts just like that. Frank, you played at the highest level all over the world. What was a comfortable yardage for you on holes like this?
I actually had a club, believe it or not, that just the grooves on it, it would go 105 yards. It was a lofted sand iron, whether it was out of the first cut or rough or the fairway. So if I could hit it around 100 yards, I could almost hit that distance with my eyes closed. After that, 70 yards was the next one. So everybody has that little sort of sweet spot with the wedge.
So that means on a hole like this, you were looking for something off the tee in the 265 to 270 range, and that would put what club in your hand?
Just in those days, it was a 53-degree sand iron, yeah.
Birdie try up next. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. In for par. Well, Frank, this is the longest hole on the golf course, 602 yards, obviously a par five, though guys like Rory have to be thinking about making an easy four, getting home in two.
Yeah, you referenced it. Longest hole on the golf course. Yet Rory McIlroy still reached it in two.
Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we're going to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
Frank, this is an important approach shot because our featured player was really good early, a little bit shaky of late. This is a point in time where you need to get it back.
Yeah, you almost need to stop, just stand still for a second, almost just flush it out, because at the moment you're starting to look right and left at the trouble. Let's get back to what worked. Let's start looking where we want the ball to go, where the flag is, and start going there.
Well, he gave us a demonstration today why he's one of the best in the sport. Every green hit in regulation. Good chunk of real estate here, 22 feet away. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace, it's hard to be critical of that.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to hole number 8. It's another par 3 with some water, Frank. Only 150 yards. This is the shortest hole in the golf course.
But distance control is still very important here. If you can get the right distance, you could perhaps aim 10 or 15 feet left of the flag. You're only going to have a 10 or 15-foot putt. So just think of that. Water on the right there, maybe just aim a little further to the left. You can still make birdie.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie. Can't birdie them all, Rich.
It's a very makeable putt here. He is currently 5 under for his round. That's how you keep a round going. Make them from that distance. Now to hole number 9, 501 yards. It's a par 5.
Yeah, we finished with the third par 5 on the front 9. You're just going to come through those sort of chute of marvelous trees that define this fairway. Just avoid the right side. Something down the left side is going to open up the second shot.
That's nice to roll in a 25-footer now and then. Those feel good. But still, there's nothing like hitting that perfect tee ball. Long and straight.
Yeah, you can puff out your chest, last to play, the advantage, holes shorter. Basically, the list goes on.
What a shot. Setting up for an eagle here. Shouldn't be a problem here. Wow, that is a perfectly played hole. That's an eagle. Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second 9.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable, that never deviated offline.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Once considered the best player at the college level, our featured golfer makes birdie, sitting comfortably inside the cut line. Now to the 11th hole. It's a par 4, 417 yards. Frank, what's the key here?
A nice little draw down that left side would be the ideal tee shot. The carry on the 2 little bunkers down the left side really isn't overly long, but that's the desired entry into this green.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Should be safely on deck.
Birdie try up next. He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. And this will be a 5-foot putt here.
No, really, Rich, right now it's just a case of running out of holes. Pars are fine.
Here at the 12th, par 4, 442 yards. Frank, what's ahead?
This one's called Big Boat. Hole's certainly a lot longer than the 10th hole, which is Little Boat. Dog legs to the player's right. A couple of bunkers down the left side. That first bunker on the left shouldn't be too much of a problem to carry. But once again, even though the hole bends to the right, you'd like to be down the opposite side of the fairway, which is the left.
315. Well, Frank, certainly a chance to make a 3 here, but there's also a little bit of a risk.
Yeah, like a few of the greens on this golf course, if you just miss that target there, the ball has a tendency to run off in a different direction. Anything left of the flag here is liable to run towards the left. Could even kick into that bunker.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
This for birdie. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Well, this is a good hole right here. Par 3, 225 yard, 13th. Frank, what do you think?
Well, it's called sulfur. I can't remember what element that is on a periodic table, but hardest thing here is not to figure that out, but figure out what club you're going to use. Just a fraction downhill, just over 200 yards. It does narrow up when they start to tick the flag in the back, but there's a nice fat target there, sort of those first 2/3 of the green.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Settles in over the putt.
Great too.
Beautiful. On to the 14th hole now. It's a par 4, 442 yards. And what's the right way to attack here, Frank?
Two choices. Try and squeeze it down the right side, just short of those big bunkers on that right. Either that or carry the bunker complex on the left. A little awkward. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. Midway through this back 9, could use this birdie here at the 14th. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. And takes care of business there.
Solid stroke.
Now to the 15th tee, and Frank, this looks like a fun shot to hit.
It won't play its full yardage because of that elevated tee, but a good one out here. We might see one of those 350, 360 plus yard drives. Oh, he is winding this one up. Does he have the power though? Can a ball explode?
That is big. I mean, really big.
There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's formality now.
Trying to make yet another birdie. Moving on to number 16 now. It's a par 4, 414 yards. And Frank, what are we looking at here?
It's another hole that'll favor a nice sort of high draw off the tee. It'll set up that second shot to a green that has got several different levels on it. Oh, that had some meat behind it.
Frank, club selection so important on this second shot here at the 16th.
Yeah, any time that the elements don't work in your favor, and by that I mean here the false front, everything rolling back, then you've got to actually be more aggressive, and you're going to get the reward. So it's not like playing reckless golf. It's just the terrain dictates that you fly the ball every inch of the way.
Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Getting set now over the putt. Can't wait to write those on the card. One below par. Chalk it up. It's a birdie. Now to the 17th, 374 yards, and Frank, players might be licking their chops here.
They certainly would, Reg. Bunkers left and right, but they can be carried with an aggressive tee shot. It'll set up just a short iron into a green that pitches towards you. So maybe just a little bit underneath the flag with a second shot. And really a chance to have a fast finish.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Took the big stick off the tee, but still challenging short second shot coming up here, Frank.
A much shorter second shot here on 17, Rich. But because that green's elevated, you've actually got to be that much more precise with this pitch.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget. These putts keep the round together.
Rich, that just adds insult to injury to the rest of the field. Another birdie, and the gap even wider.
A sensational performance. Well, here we are at the final hole here at Banff Springs. 578-yard par 5, and Frank, a chance to finish the round with a flourish.
If you're one of the fortunate to hit this fairway, it's very reachable, but well protected by bunkers, left, right, central bunkers as well. You really have to be aware of two things: the wind direction and exactly how far you can carry that tee shot if you want to find this fairway.
And that ball is absolutely scorched. Just hit a seed out there. He has just hammered this drive here at the 18th, and now he is in a really good position to make a birdie here on the final hole. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
It's at sneaky distance.
Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
CBC Naruto, over and out.